Brittle Bots is a new game about training AI that doesn't really fit into any genre and is pretty unique. So it can be a little difficult to get started, so here's a quick tutorial to help you do just that. If you don't have the game yet, you should go download the demo on the website so you can follow along. When they first dive in, most people go straight to the mission mode. We'll click Begin New, and it will take us through the intro to the game story. Once that's finished, we now have access to the Level Select menu. We'll select the first one. Here's the Select Bot menu. Usually there will be a list of your saved bots here, but we haven't saved any yet, so there's just a link to the simulator. Let's do that now. We need to select a bot brain. For the first mission, we just need to collect data, so the default is all we need. Now a lot is happening really fast. These little multicolored squares are our robots. In the first generation, we see a lot of robots are just sitting there, but most of them are moving around without any real sense of direction. The reason for this is their brains are wired up randomly. They have inputs and outputs, but they don't really know what to do with either one. So they are mostly just kind of twitching when the inputs come in. So they'll need to get better. Now when they collide with the data, these little green things, they get 10 points. The reason why this is important is that at the end of the generation, the robots breed. The best scoring robots are selected, and their brains are mixed together, with a chance of mutation. The next generation comes from this, so each generation is the offspring of the prior generation. We won't get too into the details of robot sex here. Just understand robots have a genome. It's a long string of bits that is encoded to wire up their brains and color them. This is what gets mixed together when the robots breed. By now we are noticing a few things about the robots. They are starting to get fairly proficient at finding the data. Also, their colors are starting to homogenize. There are actually two teams here. This becomes more clear as time goes by. Take note of the current generation, and I'm going to press turbo. The teams will only breed with each other, so they learn independently. So the colors they pass to their offspring are also independent. Pressing play again, we'll notice they've gotten a good deal faster. As soon as a piece of data spawns, it's swarmed by bots. So let's look at the bots and select one that is performing well. We'll save him and have him go complete the first couple of missions for us. It's helpful to pause it to select and save the bot. Sometimes they can be pretty quick and hard to click on. Or the generation might even change and he could be lost into the family tree. We'll name our bot and go back to mission 1. Now we see our new bot is available for us to select. Once selected, we can now accept and launch the mission. Our bots are already at it, collecting data. We can see the mission goal at the top here, and before we know it, the mission is complete. After a brief story segment, we can now select the second mission. Now we have a funny looking thing floating about. This is our hive. This is what we use to spawn our bots. On the HUD, we notice the name of our bot. Let's launch a few and grab the data. As we spawn each bot, one of the partial rings changes color. This indicates that it's supporting a bot. This will be important later, and again, quite quickly the level is completed. Let's go to mission 3. There are already some bots here, so hopefully our bots will be fast enough to still get some data despite the competition. Looks like ours were up to the challenge. Let's go for mission 4. Goal, destroy enemies? Oh well, let's go see what's going on here. Notice our hive flashes red when they attack it, and we're losing rings. When we launch a few bots, they distract the enemies, but we'll need to kill them to continue. Looks like we need some new tactics. We're going to need to design a new brain. This graphic on the right represents our neural network. We don't need to worry about advanced options, so let's just take a look at inputs. Notice that some are already selected for us, while others are not selected. Distance to enemy and angle to enemy are not selected, so let's add those. Notice it adds the inputs to the graphic on the right. Let's take off the data inputs. These bots shouldn't care about data, we just want to make them killing machines. There, so now they will know about the enemies. Now in the outputs, let's select the welder. This is how the bots attack the enemies. And again, we notice it adds the output. So let's go back and save our brain. I'll name it something easy to remember. Let's go back to the simulator. And we'll notice that this time we have our new brain available to select. Let's select it. Same as last time, they're all freaking out. But again, they'll get better. The flashing indicates when they are attacking. Again, the default settings are okay. Since they can't see the data, they won't get distracted with it. But we could remove it if we wanted in the settings, since they still get 10 points for colliding with it. But we'll just fast forward a few generations. Now let's take a look. These guys seem pretty vicious. See how quickly they dispose of the enemies? Let's snag one of them and go back to our mission. Now we could just hold down the button, and sometimes that's best. Let's let them out in a bit of a trickle. This will help keep them from being nearly on top of each other, which can cause them to get caught in a spiral. And mission complete! There are many more challenges in this game, and so much more to cover, but this is just meant to get your feet wet. If you like the game, I hope you consider purchasing it. And please help out by subscribing to the channel and letting me know what you think.